Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
And here's what happened last time.
Oh, weird.
The end of a rope.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Is that a dress on the ground
Speaking
over
of
there?
which, why would there be water here? These are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing.
Oh,
right?
no.
Her clothes are here.
That's not good.
She's nowhere to be found.
Ooh, wait a minute. What's this? A
What
vent?
is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
It does seem like that.
Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Well,
Oh, gosh.
how did your investigation go?
Not
To be
great.
honest, you might be disappointed.
Don't tell me
So
that your
mean.
investigation came up empty-handed.
I declare that the trial regarding the magic
boy.
show incident
Oh,
is
boy.
now in session. Firstly,
Yikes.
in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage.
In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady FURINA, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
What?
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. What did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see.
Oh my
But when the
gosh.
count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard
I did
it.
hear that thud.
Huh?
Transitions go wild, right?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
How could Lenny not know about that
I'm
sound?
sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Oh no. Don't move those scales.
Look at those scales. Could those mean
Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
the House of the Hearth?
They're Fatui? Uh-oh.
No wonder they did
Oh,
something
no.
like this.
Oh.
So the serial
isn't going well
disappearances
for
were the
us.
Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
Oh no. Why is
That's
it doing
irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself
that?
innocent.
Lynette is
after
better
all.
than that. That's right.
I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Oh no.
The Outlander is speechless.
I'm always speechless. I have like 3 voice
Don't
lines.
They look flabbergasted. Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations.
Whoa.
Seems the all
What's going on here?
last night is really paying off.
What?
Hey, Lenny, why didn't you tell us this before?
Lenny and Lynette are
Order!
Fatui.
Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to reestablish the facts. Lady FURINA has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lenny has concealed his identity, this could all have been set up beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before now. But look at Lynette's
Please answer my
face. She looks so
question, Mr.
innocent.
Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Oh no.
I knew it.
Oh.
That's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
Permission to speak?
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information. My defense cannot proceed. No, don't give up,
In that
Lumine.
case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be
Is that
discussed.
really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order,
None of you
I
have
say.
names. You're nameless
Your
NPCs.
request
Stop
is
talking.
reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
My dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Lynette, not now. You can't join my world. Lynette wants in. Let me out of jail. Oh, they look so sad.
Well, this is awkward.
A little bit.
I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two.
Please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vitui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset.
A little
but our
bit.
organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we
Sure.
want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face.
Okay.
I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
I forgive you, Lynette.
Well, you both say that, but...
Where did you actually go while the trick was being
Right.
performed?
Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick
Whoa.
with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to
Ah,
count down
that's
from
why it
60,
sounded so
while I would
long.
only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via
Ooh.
the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute
Oh
this
my
step.
gosh. What did you find?
Nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice, which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to
Creepy.
err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why do you want to understand how it
Because
operates?
of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe in the facts. I will defend you from these charges.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
We're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need. German's almost over. Wait. What does she know? What does she know?
Mean?
She's cooking. Lumine is cooking. Let her cook.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial.
Now then, if
Paimon's got her
everyone would
glasses
lend me
back
their
on.
attention at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linny's perspective.
Based on the opposition's account of state events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm scared. Do this one. Linny attacked Halsey. He didn't hear the thud because he was in the Oratrice core. Okay.
According to Linny,
Nice.
he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
I don't know what I don't know how to answer any of these. Well, I'll just start throwing some in there. Okay.
Linny went
It was
to
the
room that
voice.
contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Got it. Okay.
Lenny
Okay.
did not take part in the underground altercation.
Got it. That makes
He
sense.
only
I
witnessed
see.
traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room.
Spooky.
Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time.
Yeah, go
Finally, he
Paimon.
reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Oh, the scales.
Paimon actually managed to save
Blushing
it.
Paimon, so cute.
Wasn't it awesome?
You did great, Paimon.
You believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right.
I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you say that Cowell bumped into Lenny by...
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the
I
tunnel,
hope this happens again in
who was
Fontana.
the
It isn't just a
entire
one-time
setup
thing.
meant to
Oh,
kill?
right? Imagine how loud you have to yell in this big-ass echo chamber of a courtroom, right? Your reasoning sucks, Farida! From across the
Assuming
stage.
that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
Yeah.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. What proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you happen to remember how you refuted Lenny's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
Your claim has now become my weapon. Oh gosh. Wait. Oh no.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue
Vented.
he used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof. How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the
I
crime,
don't know, girl.
then who was it?
I just had to prove that it wasn't them. Select the gear icons in the interface to check the corresponding case questions. Select answers and fill all the empty gears to verify the correctness of your decision. Oh no, not the logic chains.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Oh, I don't know. Is this?
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so?
I don't know what my reasoning
How
is.
interesting.
Don't
Hear
bully
your
me.
reasoning then.
Let's recreate the truth. What Cowell did.
The only
and how
reason
he
why
went
I like
from
thought to
would-be
do him was because he
perpetrator
was
to
the one that
victim.
was like, Lenny, come check out the props with me beforehand. And I was like, maybe. I don't know. Oh gosh. I can't do
No
this.
one
I'm so
entered or left
scared.
The opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Where did the missing Halsey
It
go?
would have been tough for both people to fit.
This is awful.
Halsey's clothing was in a trunk.
Oh. Wow. This criminal must have understood the methods behind Lenny's magic trick and must have been in a position to easily modify the equipment. Leaving aside how he died, Cowell had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. The strange noise likely could have been the sound of Cowell and Halsey struggling. Lenny was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. This was This would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands. But according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there'd be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing they would have been discovered.
Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where did Halsey go?
I see how it is.
I mean, using all three of those brain cells right now, for real.
And here I thought
putting the brain cells in overdrive.
But it seems you are still
What Samsara is this? Naida, please, I need your help.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Escaping from the water tank. Could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents. But do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Oh no, it's getting mad at me, I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
Winnie was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny.
Where did she go?
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
Huh? It did what now?
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
She's a Hydro-Eidolon.
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the
all
moment.
right.
How could a
I'm
person
trying over
ever
here.
be
I am not a lawyer.
into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Cowell's personal effects.
Must we really?
I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney.
Oh, thank you.
Since the trial does indeed
Thank you,
appear to
Nicolette.
be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
That was scary. What's the news?
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid in Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
Water from the primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs, and he had an accomplice.
What?
The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date.
What?
It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on
Don't
people
accept
from
strange
Fontaine.
vials of primordial
It's likely
seawater
that
from
Halsey
strangers.
was chosen as some sort of test subject.
No.
As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Order!
Oh gosh. Oh.
It
That
is
was intense.
undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. But we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume
Pretty
that these
sus,
clues
though.
are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.